Absolutely. And I know you're wondering, like, well, what does that get him? Like, does he go to the final? It was already a timed final. Sometimes it's just about coming out here and getting your personal best, getting the best in your state, the best for middle schoolers. You really never know what type of personal goals that these athletes have.
Or just getting the experience. Again,
Absolutely.
coming out here, dealing with adversity, finding a way to get through to another timed final solo counts for so much, and I'm sure that is going to be information that he'll bring with him into whatever comes next in his athletic career. We're going to turn our attention back to the start-finish line now, the start line of the 5,000 meter, which will be kitty corner to the finish line. This will be 12.5 laps. This was the distance that I ended up competing in at the highest level, and I can tell you it is the hardest thing to do on a hot night. The weather has cooled. Conditions are brilliant for this single boys 5,000 meter championship race. Again, these guys have waited a long time to get themselves onto this start line, several weather delays, but it has increased the tension and I'm sure increased the focus of every one of these runners. There are a few athletes to keep your eyes on wearing hip number, well, at this point, 28. Trent Daniels out of Bristow, Virginia, 4th in the 2 mile at New Balance Nationals indoors. He's got an 8:49.39 to his name from that race. Noah Bottringer of Indiana. He was 11th last year as a 10th grader in 14:55. He is the 3,200 meter Indiana state champion. Graham Tamori of St. Catharines, Ontario. He was 2nd in the 3,000 meter at the Ontario Provincial Championships, one of the fastest races in the country. Jackson Nolan from Evansville, Indiana. Also another athlete to keep your eyes on. He's headed to the University of Louisville in the fall. He was 3rd at the Indiana State meet in the 3,200. And Nathan Lee ran 8:52.67 to win the Music City Track Carnival back in June. He's out of Connecticut. We've got Jackson Schrodel from right here in Pennsylvania. He is a senior, 6th last year. He's the top returner. He ran 14:42 in that race. He's also entered in the 2 mile. And then Nathaniel Asa of Marblehead out of Marblehead Track Club, I should say, 6th at New Balance Nationals indoors in 14:32. And there are about 24 other runners who could also put themselves in really good contest here. This is going to be, like I said, a 12.5 lap race. They're coming up on that first lap in about 67 seconds. That is a swift start here at the New Balance Nationals Championship Boys 5,000.
And taking to the lead early on was Wells Peterson. He's the tallest athlete you see in the purple top, but now taking over the lead is Noah Bontrager.
And again, Bottinger has a really good pedigree to his name. Indiana State champion. He won the 1,600 and the 3,200 there in 4:02 and 8:51 respectively. He's run 8:46 for 2 miles indoors this year. And he is brimming with confidence as he comes into this final. And we've got, for those who can hear the PA system, Thunderstruck is resonating through the stadium. I don't think there's a more appropriate song.
Man, I was just about to mention it. I was like, you know what? If they start blazing, it's because Thunderstruck is playing right now.
Well, if there was ever a moment to get these athletes up, again, you can see in those sort of wide shots, the stadium is not very full, but those who are here to party. Fastest party on the planet. These athletes are going to approach that 800-meter mark, and it is going to be Samuel Darmani who is leading the charge.
So, Kate, since you said that this was your main event, how would you break it down? Like you said, there's 12 laps. What's the rundown?
12.5 laps, if we're going to be specific about it.
You're
Let
right.
me tell you, that half lap, when you're kicking, you feel it. So, you know, again, athletes really tightly packed here. There's a lot of guys, no one wanting to exert too much energy too soon. And what I would do if I were these runners right now is have had a little bit of a conversation ahead of time. In my mind, this is broken up into about 3.5K and then 1,500. You want to work together for as long as possible. Change the leads, change the pace without it slowing too much. Make sure that no one athlete is doing too much work. That's going to encourage the pace to keep clicking along really, really well. Those last 1,500 meters, I know it sounds like a long race, but that is the sprint at that point.
Okay.
That's where it comes down to every athlete for themselves. But like I said, every athlete still in contention now. What I love to see, Serenity, is that things are starting to string out now as we enter that second 1,000 meters of this race, which means the pace is clicking along. You don't want to let it lag, especially through the middle of this race.
It feels like they're going out this first mile a little bit more aggressive than I would have expected them to be.
Well, that's true, except again, they've been waiting around literally all day. We are approaching 9:45 in the evening here on the East Coast, and these guys have been waiting a long time for an opportunity. The 5,000, you can't race a high-level 5,000 many times in your season. You have 3, maybe 4 shots at it, and this is one of them, perhaps the best opportunity as these athletes continue to work their way around the circuit. And tucked in there, looking really good in second. I believe that's Wells Peterson, just trying to get confirmation on the athlete there. So Wells Peterson sitting just shy of Bottringer in the lead. In fact, now it's Luke Long into the lead. And these runners coming along that home stretch, and they are going to see 2,000 meters at this next split. 2:54 on the opening K. They're going to unofficially hit that 2,000 meter mark in 5:12. So they've been running really consistent 70, 69 seconds per lap. That's exactly what you want to see.
And Sean Gray has now just decided to establish himself as the leader and have the rest of the athletes work off of him.
Meet record 14:21. That was set 2 years ago by Riley Howe. Well, 5:12 through that 2,000 meter mark puts them well under that pace. They are looking to run a very swift time, and I'm just wondering if these guys, again, understand what is at stake and just, again, working so hard to take full advantage here. That was 5:12, through 1,800 meters. That makes a lot more sense. So they came through the 2,000 meter mark slower than that, looking to get right under that championship record pace of 14:21.81. So many of these competitors capable of that, and it's still anyone's race.
Absolutely. And you saw them getting tripped up just a little bit because it's still very bunched up. Hopefully these athletes are able to establish their position pretty good. But then as they keep coming around, I mean, the lead changes keep happening. People are trying to figure out where they want to go. They don't want to get boxed in.
But again, I think that's to these runners' advantage. You want lead changes. You don't want any one runner to take it for too long because inevitably they're going to slow. And so that is Sean Gray, Noah Bottringer still in the mix. Wells Peterson, as we said, he's been there for a while. And Samuel Darmani now making his way in as well. But Sean Gray in that red kit taking things out, and Gray looks really good. Sean Gray now tucked into second. Bottringer back into the lead. So it is a trio of juniors leading the charge. As we mentioned, Noah Bottringer, 11th last year, 14:55, just as a 10th grader. but ran 8:46 for that 2 miles indoor this year.
But we also have to mention Trent Daniels, who's wearing the same uniform as well. He is moving into third. He's from Virginia. He was fourth in the 2 mile and New Balance Nationals indoor this year. He's sitting in pretty good position. Still at third, but he has Wells Peterson to his outside at fourth.
So approaching the 3,000 meter mark now, 8:43 on the clock. What consistent running has Bottringer laid down here? He hasn't shied away from that 69 to 70 second split. So 8:43 through 3,000 meters. Well, that puts them on about 14:32 pace. As we mentioned, the record 14:21 set a few years ago. And it continues to be in the lead. Bottringer, he likes running at the front. He likes being in control, and now the moves are happening. A quartet has separated themselves from the rest of the field. This is where you would expect to see it. Serenity, 3,000 meters in. If you're feeling good, you want to start turning the gears, putting the screws to the rest of the field, because this is where people can either drop off or commit. And if they're going to commit, let me tell you, they are jumping 2 feet into the hurt locker.
I love it. I love it. And it looks like sitting in second or third is hip number 25. That's Jackson Nolan, who has also made his move.
Well, Jackson Nolan, a University of Louisville commit. He was third at the Indiana State meet in the 3,200 at 8:56.33. He's from Evansville, Indiana. And he is keeping himself in contention. But what a brave run up front by our longtime leader, Bottringer. Again, he's just a junior. He is mixing it up with some really strong seniors. Sean Gray continues to sit in second. Portsmouth, Rhode Island's hero, Sean Gray. And now he is just falling off of that pace. Bottringer made a really smart move, Serenity, right there with just over a K to go. He picked up the pace, and I think this was a bit of a test to the field. He wanted to say, all right, who's going to wake up? Who's going to come with me? Who's going to respond? And that response is coming, again, in the form of Jackson Nolan, as Nolan now makes up the gap onto the back of our leader. Bottringer continues to take things out. Sean Gray and Jackson Schodel shown but I do believe that that's Jackson Nolan. Again, there may have been some hip changes.
Yeah, there definitely was. Now that they're coming to our side of things, it looks like it's actually Graham Tamori out of Ontario, Canada, who's sitting right there on his heel. You know, 25 is looking like a 26, the 26 looking like a 25, but these guys are continuing on with this pace.
Well, Graham Tamori, as I mentioned, out of St. Catharines, Ontario. And for those Canadian viewers, OFSA is one of the top meets at the high school level in the country. Well, guess what? This guy was second in the 3,000 meter there just a few weeks ago, and he is stalking our leader. Bottringer has done so much work, Serenity. He is setting the pace literally and figuratively up front. And he is working hard here. Not much left in this race. 12:09 on the clock with less than 1,000 meters to go. 800 meters remain. That was another 70-second lap. This has been metronomic running by Bottringer.
Absolutely. And here's some motivation for him as he comes around. Laps one of the athletes, but he's still moving strong. I just saw him take a look over his left shoulder because Tamori is still on his heel.
Well, it's going to be a fantastic couple of laps here to take things home. There has been a move into third now. These two have been running neck and neck for most of this race, and they are under some contest from behind that I don't even think they know is there. The threat is mounting. This has been a fantastic effort by our third place runner. 13:20 on the clock for Bottringer. He has 1 lap to go. This has been bold commitment by him, and he is showing no signs of slowing down. Bottringer now moving down the backstretch and looking so strong in the process. It is Bottringer trying to hold on to the win here. Bottringer 11th last year as a 10th grader, now as an 11th grader, coming into form and finding gear after gear after gear. Look at this close into the straightaway. Noah Bottringer is absolutely running away with this race. There is a huge challenge from behind in top of picture, but this is going to be the Noah Bottringer show out of Indiana. The arms go up, he blows a kiss to the crowd, and he is going to come away with a fantastic win here at New Balance Nationals Outdoors 2025. 4:20.89. Well, that is going to take down the former meet record of 4:21.81, and Noah Bottringer did it the hard way.
Absolutely. And Graham Tamori right behind him with 4:23.87. I mean, it was a big gap at the end there, but Tamori was right there on his heel. I would like to say that he even pushed him to that meet record a little bit, but he just hit the gas, no brakes. And he is so happy about it. I love that they give them a tape that literally says records are meant to be broken, because that's exactly what has been happening all day and night today. And this is just day one, Kate. I mean, this is still so many things to be excited about. Noah ran a fantastic race in a field that was really tough, but he ran fearless.
Absolutely. What a strong performance there from Bottringer. Every time he was challenged, he met that challenge head on. He came here on a mission, and that mission was surely accomplished. Beautiful performance by the junior Bottringer. 4:20.89, meet record, personal best, and a fantastic performance.
All right, folks. Our next race on the track is the Championship Girls 5,000 meters. We've consolidated our heats so we can go to bed at a reasonable hour tonight, and that means we have 48 runners on the track.
Well, this is going to make for our final